The news. Gunmen abduct university students in Kogi as state government, security agencies, management swings into action. Nigerian Senate approves death penalty for drug traffickers. Prince Harry and wife arrives Nigeria for 72-hour tour. In sports, Olympic flame arrives on French soil city of Marseille amid tight security. This is the MLC TV Global News, reaching you live from the city of Lokoja, the confluent state of Nigeria. I am Joshua Adinoy. Thanks for joining us. Governor Ahmed Usman Ododo of Kogi State have been advised to stay focused on performance and ignore detractors. The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, gave the advice when he received Governor Ododo on a courtesy call to the SGF's office in Abuja. A statement by the Special Advisor to the Governor on Media, Ismaila Issa, explained that Senator Akume praised Governor Ododo for his performance in his first 100 days in office, noting that according priority to the welfare of people of the state remain a hallmark of good governance, while wishing Governor Ododo well as he continues to govern the people of the confluent state. The former governor of Benue State stressed that his good performance has already set him on a good trajectory as an emerging leader in Nigeria. Earlier, Governor Ododo said the visit was to appreciate the SGF for the support he has given to him since his assumption of office as the governor of Kogi State, describing Senator Akume as a patriot whose record of achievements in public office is worthy of emulation by the younger generation. He called for the support of the SGF in achieving the developmental agenda of his administration in Kogi State. Governor Ododo was accompanied on the visit by the State Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Barrister Didat Ozigi Salami, and the technical advisor to the governor on multilateral and donor-funded projects, Dr. Abdullahi Ozomata. Kogi State Commissioner for Solid Minerals and Natural Resources, Engineer Abubakar Bashir Mohammed Gegu, has been appointed as Chairman, Mineral Resources and Environmental Management Committee, MIREMCO, in Kogi State. The appointment of Engineer Bashir Gegu as the Kogi State MIREMCO Chairman was done by the Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dr. Oladele Henry Alake, on behalf of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The appointment of Engineer Bashir Gegu followed his nomination by Kogi State Governor Ahmed Usman Ododo. The appointment, which takes effect from Monday, April 8, 2024, is for a period of 3 years, in line with the operational guidelines for the MIREMCO 2017. Engineer Bashir Gegu takes over from Ozavizeha Siat Suleiman, who is the immediate past MIREMCO chairman in the state. MIREMCO is established in each state of the Federation by the federal government by Section 19 of the Nigerian Minerals and Mining Act 2007, with the Minister of Solid Minerals saddled with the overseeing responsibility. The Chief Medical Director of the Reference Hospital, Okene, Professor Solomon Avedime, has assured of the continued support of the staff in the hospital for efficient service delivery. Professor Avedime gave the assurance at an event put together by the nurses to mark this year's International Nurses Week. The CMD noted that nurses play critical roles in the provision of health care to patients, stressing that they should be celebrated and encouraged, while urging them to sustain hard work and diligence in the discharge of their duties. He maintained that the hospital was in partnership with the College of Nursing and Midwifery of Bangede and training their student nurses with a view of supporting government's effort in healthcare and education sector. He appreciated Governor Ahmed Usman Ododo for his support to the smooth running of the world-class hospital and also commended the immediate past governor of the state, Yahaya Adoza Bello, for establishing the medical facility and equipping it for the benefit of all. The CMD thanked the organizers for the job well done and nurses for their commitment to duty, promising that efforts are ongoing to engage more hands to ease their work. The legislative arm of government in Kogi State has promised to give all necessary support to the management of the reference hospital, Okene, to enable the health facility achieve her purpose of establishment. The chairman, Committee on Health and member representing the Kina State constituency, Usman Ochidi, made the promise during an oversight function to the hospital in Okene, the Central Senatorial District of the state, in company of other assembly members in the state. Ochidi, who expressed delight over the ongoing works in the hospital, commended the management and staff for their commitment to delivering quality service to the people, while commending the former governor of the state, Yahya Bello, for establishing the hospital. He emphasized that the legislative arm will press on the executive arm of government in the state to consider ad hoc staff who have been committed to work for permanent employment.
By the grace of God, we are so delighted. All what we have seen here is a result of human resources and productivity, meaning the staff here are okay, and we are seeing a very positive result. We are looking at it not because it's just a new hospital. They should be able to consolidate what they are doing already. The excitement, the motivation, the commitment, whatever we are seeing here, we are satisfied. All the staff, we are very happy the way we met them, and we are leaving them with happiness, and we want to encourage them to do more. Any challenges they're having at the moment not to get the result, the purpose of this hospital, we are promised the same day that with the legislative arms of government, we are going to collaborate to make sure executive provide all the needed necessary, especially that this reference hospital to stand be #1 in Nigeria. I've seen a lot of facility here that we had that there's no any hospital in Nigeria that have it. So we encourage the management to come up with what will make this place to remain what it is.
The Deputy Speaker of the House of Assembly, Comfort Ojoma, stressed the need for maintenance culture in the hospital to enable the health facility stand the test of time.
You can see now that to God be the glory, Kogi is one of the people that are of the states that are very, very lucky to have a reference hospital like this. And if we are fortunate to have a citadel like this as a medical hospital, then the people that are saddled with the responsibility of being the staff or any other staffs here should maintain all that is in it. A lot have been sunk in here. Most of the equipment that is needed are here. Most of the equipment that are here are not even in other national hospitals. And so if you find yourself as a lucky staff here, being a doctor, being a nurse, being a pharmacist, the lab scientist, and being a medical record, you should be diligent in that job. And taking care of the equipment is the uttermost. And that is how it can have a long stay to serve humanity. And I want to urge all the staffs to be diligent in that aspect so that the equipment could stand a test of time.
The Chief Medical Director and Chief Executive Officer of the Reference Hospital, Okene, Professor Solomon Avideme, appreciated the committee for embarking on the oversight function to the hospital to see for themselves all activities taking place in the health facility.
We are very glad that today we received the House Committee on Health and Oversight function. The committee is so special that they have most of the principal officers in the House. Rightly said, even the Honorable Speaker is part of the Senate Committee. That is to show how important to them health is. And then today we're happy that they will receive them as part of the oversight function. And they have come, they have seen firsthand what we have here, and they met our staff working. And we are glad that the conclusion was that we're doing very well. And we have taken time to show them around the facility, and they have seen them too, and they are quite impressed to say that at Reference Hospital Okene, it's a huge investment that the former governor has done here. And we're happy to say that His Excellency Alhaji Ahmad Usman Ododo is also supporting the hospital in the area of manpower, power supply, and logistics. And of course, the hospital is growing, but we can do more. So we're happy that they have come to see, and we're happy that they've also promised that they are going to also assist us in whatever capacity as a legislative arm of government to assist us to make progress to answer to our mandate. So we're glad to have received them.
The visiting members of the Kogi State House of Assembly Committee on Health took out time to visit various segments of the hospital. The National Senior Secondary School Education Commission, a subsector of the Nigeria education system, has promised to carry out her senior secondary school intervention program in Kogi State. The Executive Secretary of the Commission, Dr. Iyela Ajayi, made the promise at Kogi State Ministry of Education in Lokoja. Dr. Ajayi commended the efforts of the Kogi State Commissioner for Education, Wemi Jones, and the administration of former Governor Yahaya Bello for satisfying the condition of establishing the State Senior Education Board in line with the composition and function of the Act establishing the Commission. Our reporter Sadiq Abiodun has the detail.
In tandem with the Renewed Hope agenda, the National Senior Secondary Education Commission (NSEC), sustained by the current administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has assured Nigerians it will redefine senior secondary education. Dr. Iyala Ajayi, the Executive Secretary of NSEC, while addressing the press at the Kogi State Ministry of Education, reinstated the President's passion for quality education ab initio, fostering the mandate of the Commission tailored at revamping senior secondary education in the country.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who is passionate about education, who is passionate about quality education, because it is education that brought him to where he is today. And that is why he is determined that quality education must be provided at all levels of our educational system, including senior secondary education. For this year, the government is going to intervene in the upgrade of senior secondary schools across the country. And I'm happy to inform you that Kogi State is one of the beneficiaries.
While stating the mandate of subsector of Nigerian education, Dr. Iyala highlighting areas of intervention such as infrastructure, teachers' workshop, trainings, and developmental programs for students across the nation.
The Commission was given some mandates, in fact about 20 of them, but I'll just mention some of them. One, to prescribe and enforce minimum standards. Two, to intervene in senior secondary education, especially in the area of infrastructural development. Three, to embark on capacity building of teachers. I'm sure you know that that is very important, and so on and so forth.
Dr. Iyala assured that NSEC will commence work in the areas identified for intervention in the next 2 months. However, commended Kogi State government from the past to the present administration for the beautiful transformation of GYB Model School in Lokoja to an ultra-modern ICT compliance school beyond the minimum requirement of NSEC.
Of course, the first school I visited was Government Science Secondary School, Kotokarfe. My impression of that school is that there is need for intervention by our commission. Erosion is a problem in that college. There are some structures that need to be rehabilitated. For instance, there is a need to provide modern, well-equipped laboratories, ICT center, and library. Now, coming to GYB Model Schools, honestly, I could not believe my eyes that that is a public secondary school. It is a model school with all the basic facilities. I've seen standard laboratories, ICT center, quality, standard classrooms, adequate number of teachers, qualified teachers, that is really a model school which we're all aiming at. So I must commend the government. I understand that the former executive governor of the state, Governor Yabilo, was the one who actually started the process, and it's been sustained now by the present governor, Governor Ododo. And the Honorable Commissioner of Education has assured me that the same type of model schools are being replicated in other local government areas of the state. We have identified those areas that we will come in to intervene, and by the grace of God, in the next 2 months, work will commence in that school.
The Kogi State Commissioner of Education, Wemi Jones, mollified 100% commitment in taking education to greater level and are sure of utilizing the NSEC intervention funds to ensure Kogi State play pivotal role in revamping education in the country.
No state can do it alone, and that is why we are particularly happy with the visit of our father, the Executive Secretary of NSEC, who has given us so much hope and belief that the federal government, through his commission, will not only ensure compliance with standards, but they will intervene monetarily. Yes. So we are quite hopeful, we are expectant that when we get the support, the required support from NSEC, Kogi State will take a major role and play a very pivotal role in the revamping and resuscitation of education in Nigeria. That is our belief, that is our hope.
With an entourage from the Kogi State Ministry of Education and NSEC, Dr. Yala, alongside the Commissioner of Education, Wemi Jones, went on inspection visit to Government Science Secondary School, Kotun Karfi, Crowder Memorial College, Jiwabi Model School, and Scintillate International School to check areas where intervention will be needed. I am Abiodun Sadiq, reporting for MLC TV.
How are you today?
Fine, thank you.
How are you too?
As the 2024 NDLEA Act Amendment Bill passes through the third reading, the Senate has approved death sentence as a penalty for drug traffickers in Nigeria. The proposal was adopted when the Senate dissolved into a committee of the whole for a clause-by-clause consideration of a report of the chairman of the Committees on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters, and Drug and Narcotics National Drug Law Enforcement Agency NDLEA Act Amendment Bill 2024, Senator Tahir Munguno. In a review of the penalty provisions of the amendment bill towards strengthening the operations of the agency, a proposed amendment to award a death sentence to drug traffickers rather than just a life sentence was raised by the Senate Chief Whip, Senator Peter Nweboin, under Clause 11. When the matter was put to a voice vote, it appeared the nays had it. However, when the question was put on a second vote, the Deputy Senate President ruled in favor of the ayes. A slight uproar ensued as some lawmakers were displeased. Senator Adams Oshomole expressed his displeasure over what he considered a hasty consideration and passage of the amendment clause. The Deputy Senate President rejected an objection by Senator Oshomole to reverse the ruling, insisting that it came late, which is against the rule. The upper chamber also commenced the review salaries, allowances, and fringe benefits of judicial office holders in Nigeria in a bid to curb bribery and corruption and ensure independence of the judiciary. The executive bill seeking to prescribe the salaries of the judicial office holders both at federal and state levels scaled second reading on Thursday and is expected to nip in the bud the prolonged stagnation in remuneration to reflect the current socio-economic realities. The Yaba College of Technology, YABATECH, Lagos, in collaboration with the United Nations International Children's Fund, UNICEF, is set to empower 1 million Nigerian girls with educational skills through UNICEF's Girls Education Skills and Partnership. Director of YABATECH, Dr. Ibrahim Abdul, disclosed this at the opening ceremony of a 5-day workshop on Girls Education Skills and Partnership, sponsored by UNICEF and foreign Commonwealth and Development offices. The college is expected to empower 5,000 girls in Lagos to boost access to economic opportunities for adolescent girls and young women, supporting them to become employable, entrepreneurial, and better skilled in information communication technology. The Executive Secretary, National Board for Technical Education, Professor Idris Bogaje, represented by the Director, NBTE Southwest Zonal Office, Ayo Aroge, commended the YABATECH for its commitment to skills development in Nigeria. We go on a short break now. We'll be right back.
MLC TV Online is here. For your timely and reliable news that reaches you fast with the breaking news, choose MLC TV. Get human interest stories right here on MLC TV. With entertainment, sports, business, culture, tourism, and fashion news stories all featured on MLC TV. Not forgetting political and current affairs news, state and federal government and people's matters will be discussed regularly on MLC TV. MLC TV, your one-stop online destination for unbiased, accurate news, entrepreneur ideas, and youth matters to the rest of the world. MLC TV, reaching everywhere, informing everyone.
Welcome back. In politics, the Forum of Kogi State People's Democratic Party (PDP) state chairmanship aspirants has rejected the purported consensus candidature of Enemona Anyebe as the state chairman of the party in the Confluent State. There are 13 legitimate aspirants for the chairmanship position of the PDP in the state. During a press briefing at the party's secretariat in Lokoja, described as false, publications making the rounds that Enemona has been chosen as the consensus candidate for the party's chairmanship position. The spokesperson, Forum of Kogi State PDP state chairmanship aspirants, Arua Ismaila, said a consensus candidate can only be arrived at by all the 13 aspirants discussing and agreeing with each other, not the elders review committee picking a consensus candidate without their awareness.
This news was carried out in an online publication, the Daily Post of 1st May 2024, and in several other social media platforms like Opera Mini, Kogi East PDP, Infocus, etc. We state equivocally that the said publication is blatantly false, misleading, and only existing in the imagination of a failed 2023 Kogi State PDP governorship aspirant in the person of Barrister Kabiru Usman, who wants to reposition himself for 2027, and Aminu Atabo and others of his political urchins, purporting to be acting on behalf of the Elders Review Committee. A consensus candidate can only be arrived at by all 13 aspirants discussing and agreeing with each other and not the other way around. We cannot continue on the same path of impunity and imposition that has led the party to disastrous electoral losses over the past 12 years, dancing to the whims and caprices of our leaders and expect a different result. On the issue of the so-called Mr. Enemona Anyebe, who never showed interest in the contest for state chairmanship and did not participate in the screening and personal presentation processes before the zoning committee in Lokoja on 20th January 2024, his purported candidature is dead on arrival.
The forum emphasized that if there is no consensus candidate agreed upon among the 13 legitimate aspirants, a level playground should be provided to go to the contest to allow whoever emerge become the party's chairman in the state. On the foreign scene, Prince Harry and his wife, Meghan Markle, on Friday morning arrived in Nigeria for their 72-hour tour. The couple arrived at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport aboard a British Airways flight. This is the first time Harry and his wife are visiting Nigeria together. Kenyan doctors have ended their strike, which had crippled the country's public health care system for 56 days after reaching an agreement with the government. The Kenya Medical Practitioners, Pharmacists and Dentists Union, which represents about 7,000 members, went on strike on 15th March 2024. Despite the deal to end the strike, the government and the doctors' union failed to reach an agreement on the deployment and payment of intern doctors, who formed the backbone of the public health care system in the country. The union demanded that the intern doctors be paid about $1,500 a month, but the government says it can only afford to pay them $500 a month. The matter will now be determined by a court, which means the intern doctors will remain out of work for the next 60 days. In sports, the Olympic flame has arrived on French soil at southern port city of Marseille and amid tight security 79 days before the opening ceremony of the Paris Games. After a 12-day trip from Greece on board the 128-year-old three-masted sailing ship Belém, the torch was carried on to land by 2012 Olympic men's 50 meters freestyle swimming champion Florent Manaudao. It was handed to Paralympic track athlete Nantem Keita, a 400-meter champion at Rio 2016, before Marseille-born French rapper Jules Lit, among others, in front of an estimated crowd of 150,000 that included President Emmanuel Macron. Macron said it marks the end of preparations, as he said the Games arrives in the life of the French people. Real Madrid has snagged an incredible semi-final victory as two late goals defeated Bayern Munich and set up a Champions League final with Borussia Dortmund. Two late goals from substitute Joselu saw Madrid come from a goal down to beat Bayern Munich 2-1. The La Liga giant progressed 4-3 on aggregate after holding Bayern to a 2-2 draw in the first leg at the Allianz Arena. On a sad note, Kogi State Governor Ahmed Usman Ododo has expressed sadness over the demise of Amadou Salihu Ribado, elder brother of the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribado. In a condolence message he personally signed, Ododo reflected on the inevitability of death, noting that it was painful for our family to lose a loved one, especially when the deceased is dear to the family and the community like the late Amadou Salihu Ribado. The late Amadou Salihu Ribado died on Sunday in Yola, Adamawa State, and has since been buried in accordance with Islamic rites. May his soul rest in peace. And that is the size of our news package for today. Do support us by subscribing to our YouTube channel, Malachite TV. Like and follow our Facebook page, MLC TV, MLC TV 2, MLC TV Yoruba, and Ebirababe MLC TV. Instagram, MLC TV 2021, X handle Malachite TV, and TikTok, Malachite_TV. For your event coverage, appearance on any of our programs, comments, contributions, advert placement, or sponsorship, please call or send SMS to any of our numbers displayed on your screen. Join Malachite TV online on weekends to watch our various programs. Saturday 7 p.m. Political Arena, Sunday 6 p.m. Women's World, 7 p.m. Kakanchibira, Monday 9 a.m. The Opinion, and 9 p.m. Senior Citizen Alcove. It's Malachite TV, reaching everywhere, informing everyone. Please, continue to be a brother's keeper to build a happier and better society together. I am Joshua Adinoy. Thanks for watching.